Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Creative Mike podcast. My name is Mike, your host, your host for Creative Mike. And today we're going to discuss a $7 million commercial deal. And how did this come to fruition? How do I even have it? And overall, how am I going after these deals? Because a lot of people are probably going to be wondering, hey man, you were just doing single families, right? How are you doing these commercial deals now? Well, guys, here's the thing. You got to get uncomfortable. You got to get out of your comfort zone. The same people on the other end of these $7, $10 million commercial deals are just like you and me. That's what you have to understand. A lot of them are just brokers that either have been in the business for a long time, have good relationships. Some of them have just started off and just landed a big listing. So what you have to understand is not to be intimidated by these deals. And I was intimidated by this initially when I first started this year. But now, as I talk to more and more of these real estate brokers, I understand that they're human, just like me and you. They're just human. They want to sell the deal. They want to talk to you because in the end, they are going to get paid a commission. So is it your mindset that's holding you back? And it most likely is because the biggest deal I've done so far was a $2 million deal. That was in Naples, Florida. That was probably the biggest deal I've done. And I'm like, you know what? Let me see what I can do if I open up my horizons, don't have a ceiling, right? And just kind of go for it. And so this year, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start sending letters of intent to commercial brokers on mobile home parks, RV parks, storage facilities, portfolios, you know, anything, right? Anything that's commercial based that kind of fits into my wheelhouse where I have buyers or I can get the loan myself with a key principal or anybody else. And so I started sending these LOIs this year, actually about 2 weeks ago. I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I'm going to get out of my comfort zone. I've been scared of commercial. I've been scared of underwriting commercial deals. I'm like, you know what? Let me just do it. It's all about the cash flow. Let's see what we can do. So after talking with a few agents, I actually ended up finding one in Vermont that is a very, very good deal. I send it over to one of my biggest buyers slash underwriters, and they underwrote the deal, and they said we're interested. I'm like, okay, cool, cool, cool. So you're interested. So we have a call set up for today with the agent, which is also the owner of the property. And this agent is willing to do it's a $7.5 million listing. He's willing to do about $2 million down, which we're going to get financing from a bank. He's willing to carry the rest, which is over 4 million in a second position note, which is perfect for 84 months at about a 6% interest only payment. And the only caveat is that he wants to stay on as a property manager because he wants to make sure that his equity is protected. So if this guy has been managing this property for a very long time, that's awesome. Like we want him to stay because he is going to have skin in the game and he's going to be managing this property the way it should be managed. And the cool thing is too is it's a value add. We can increase rents on the storage units. We can build more storage units. We can remodel the apartments because there's tons of units. We can remodel them. We can force appreciation by increasing the rents. See how I'm speaking in different kind of language right now, more on the commercial side. But that's because I've delved into it and I started learning and listening to people talk about it, and I started being more involved in it. And that's how you learn. You break the barrier, you take action, you move forward, you start talking to these agents and you start learning the lingo. You start listening to other people talking to these agents, and you start working with underwriters underwriting the deal, and they'll tell you what's here, what's there. And then you become somebody over the phone where they can trust. And this agent trusted me right away. So, you know, kind of transitioning from residential to commercial, doing that has not been that difficult. I mean, obviously, I'm still doing residential, but I mean, it'll be nice to land a $10 million commercial deal. I mean, who wouldn't want that, right? Equity, cash flow, future appreciation. I mean, much more. You can force appreciation much more than you can on a family, on a single family residence, and it's also based on the NOI. So I can add NOI, right? I can add income to the property. I can build more. I can increase rents. I can do all sorts of things. Good morning from Cornwall, Pennsylvania. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, yes, it's a Morby method. You guys know what's up. I love my Morby methods. I got pretty good at them. So now I'm going to be doing commercial Morby methods. Watch out. Okay. Watch out. It's pretty nice. And so we have this call today, to see, if we're going to be moving forward with the due diligence process. As the process where you get under contract, you have 60 days to do your due diligence, do all your inspections, environmental inspections. If there's sewage inspections, things like that, everything that comes with commercial properties, and it costs a lot of money. So as I tell you guys all the time, right? I join venture on things I don't understand. Okay. So do I understand commercial that well yet? No. But will I, by partnering with the right people and them underwriting the deal and then telling me, hey, Mike, this is why this deal is good. This is why this deal is bad, right? This is what we can change to make this deal good and make it happen. Hey, Mike, I have these lenders that will lend to us. Like, guys, I'm telling you, like, the money is not important in the beginning. Like, there are so many of you out there that are just so greedy. You think that you can take this, by yourself, like to the finish line. I can guarantee you 90% of you will fail doing that. Like, I have experience. I have capital, okay? I have people with capital, and I'm still going to people that I know that are experts at this, and I'm like, "Hey, listen, I want to JV with you. I'm new to commercial. I'm new to this space. I want to JV with you. Whether you buy it or we wholesale it together, whatever it is, let's work together because I want to learn this. Like the money aspect for me right now, whether I make the 100% of the pie or 50% of the pie, it doesn't matter because I am going to learn how to structure, underwrite, sell, wholesale, keep, run, operate a $10 million asset, right? So if I acquire one $10 million asset a year, in 5 years, that's $50 million in real estate. Say I own 20% of that, right? That's $10 million in 5 years from just 10 different assets that I own that I have equity in at 20%, let's say, right? Let's say I negotiate those terms because I bring in those deals. So how cool is that? So how much work will I have to put in to get these deals? A lot of conversations, a lot of letters of intent. Absolutely. You know, I'm going to be putting in a lot of work. See, the thing is, when it comes to underwriting, I let the experts do the underwriting because I'm not an Excel guy. I'm not really a numbers guy. I mean, I understand numbers, but I don't understand numbers that articulately like they do, right? Like the finite details. I don't understand that stuff. So what am I going to do? I'm going to work with people that do understand this stuff. I just started talking to a woman that has about $100 million under management, and we started talking about, hey, listen, let me, let's leverage each other. Let's leverage your team. I'll send you deals. You underwrite them, and then let's see if we can do something together, because in the end it's a team sport. I never want this to be a solo thing for me. I don't, because I also don't want to absorb all the risk. So I want to spread the risk out amongst others, and I think that is a very smart way to do it. Now, maybe when I get to, millions of dollars a year or so and start, maybe create my own property management company, this and that, maybe down the line. But right now, with the partners that I have, with what I'm doing, I'm pretty happy. I mean, if I can get to 50 to 100 grand a month in cash flow in the next 5 years in passive income, nothing's really passive, right? But if I can get to 50, 100 grand, let's just say 50,000, right? I mean, I could live pretty comfortably, have like $10 million under management, or a little bit more, and then you can have like $50,000 in nice passive income. It's coming in monthly consistently. I get the tax write offs. I still have my wholesale business. That's awesome. Like, I'm gonna be super happy. I'll be able to have houses all over different places and travel and be cool with it. And that's what I'm striving for. Striving for that peace of mind, waking up, not worrying too much. Sure, there's gonna be a lot of stress, but you know what? I'm starting to understand that every single day I'm going to have to find solutions, and I'm starting to be okay with it now after all these years of being that guy for my mortgage company. I was that guy. Like, I was that guy. I was like literally like boom bam, like just like on the fly, finding out solutions like no other, like just outside the box thinking. Maybe that's why I am successful in this creative finance world, because I've already been doing creative finance, but on the mortgage side, finding out ways to get things done that normally people wouldn't think of, right? And so maybe that kind of brought it into this whole creative world for me, and now I'm able to share this with you guys, share this with the world. Share it with people that want to learn, that partner with me. We join venture together and close deals together, and it's fantastic. I'm helping people grow their portfolios. I'm helping big buyers get more assets under management. I'm getting realtors paid all the time. So, like, I think I'm doing a pretty good deed for the industry, I believe. Um, but you know what? The thing is this: like, you just cannot, whether it's a $500,000 asset, $1 million asset, $10 million asset. I kind of realize the conversations are the same. It's just another human being across the table wanting to sell the property. Just learn the terms like cap rate, cash flow, NOI, expenses. I mean, whatever, just simple things, just so just when you're talking, people can people will feel you out, especially with assets this big. But I had no problem getting financials this $7.5 million asset. No problem whatsoever. The guy was like super cool. He's like, "Yeah, I'm ready to go. Just let me know. I'll carry." Okay, cool. So like, and it's already cash flowing. It's already at like a good cap rate. I think the cap rate's like 8%. So I'm excited. It's like our first one that actually looks good, and it came off of Crexy, guys. Like, literally Crexy. Like, you just went on Crexy, started sending LOIs off of Crexy. Crexy.com is like a commercial based website. So there's no gatekeeping here with me and what I do and how I get deals and stuff. So I'm like, oh, I'm on the MLS, and I'm sending stuff on market for realtors on my residential stuff, and my commercial stuff. I'm using that on market too. And why am I doing that? Because it's fast. It's fast. It's easy. They're already ready to sell. I don't got to convince anybody. And the only thing that I'm doing off market with my partner is we're doing foreclosures off market. Because that's it. That's a whole different story and ball game there. But if you guys want to get a quick deal pretty fast, I would just really go on market and just start sending LOI, start making offers, start talking to people. I swear to you, like, if you're sitting there and your phone is not by your ear, you're not doing anything. It's just you're not working. You might as well just go home, go to bed, or just do nothing, or be with your family. Because if you're not talking to people, if you're not sending out emails with letter of intent, if you're not following up with these leads, like, you're not doing nothing. I'm sorry. Some of you think you're doing see, some that was my problem too. I thought I was doing things, right? I thought I was doing things, but in the end, it all boils down to the basics. You have to talk to people, and you have to send out offers, and you have to follow up. Now, once you start making some money, which I've just recently started to implement, is an assistant that follows up on my LOIs, schedules my appointments for my calendar. So now I can focus more on being on the phone and actually talking to people than following up and doing, scheduling my own calendar and all that stuff. Because that is a valuable time away from me, where I can just have 5, 6 appointments scheduled for the day, and I can talk to these people and potentially even get a deal a day out of these LOIs that have been sent out, right? So money making activities are a must, and your money making activities are not underwriting, right? They're not sitting on social media. They're not looking through deals. They're talking to motivated people, motivated brokers. Find the bunnies, right? Find out what is the motivation behind the sale. Why are they selling? Try to fix that problem, and then just be there for them, right? And you have to come off also as a trustworthy individual over the phone, because some of these deals, like, people ask me, like, dude, how are you getting, like, somebody to finance you $500,000 at, like, no interest or no payments or a 3% rate? Well, it's basically, I'm fixing a problem for them, right? I'm fixing a problem for them. And that's why I'm getting these terms. But I'm also asking for these terms, right? If you don't ask, you don't get, right? It's kind of like, you have to take your shot at things, right, in life, right? So I'm taking shots at these realtors, at these sellers every single day. Every single day I take a shot. Whether I make the shot or not, it doesn't matter. But if I take enough shots, I will land something, you know? And this is why it's so important to get out of your comfort zone, start talking to people. And I'll tell you, you'll have, like, somebody that will just be like, yeah, okay, cool. Can you send me over the contract? And you're like, what? What? Like, this guy, like, we're having a good conversation, $7.5 million deal, and he's like, "All right, cool, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's. I'm interested. If we schedule another call when we have the call today, so we'll see how that call goes. And I have a couple more commercial deals lined up as well that I have phone calls of. So it's pretty exciting. I'm really hoping to land some commercial deals or even wholesale some commercial deals this year. I know it's harder, but the payouts are bigger. I mean, we're talking about 6, $7 million assets here. So the payouts are going to be much, much bigger. And that's exciting, that's exciting, because I really want to be able to teach this to my son, my little pride and joy, Tyler, right? Little jujitsu little kid. You guys, honestly, it's so funny. I take him to jujitsu practice every single Monday and Wednesday, right? And so it's my turn to pick him up from school on Mondays and Wednesdays. And when he sees me walking through the door on Monday or Wednesday, he knows. So he looks at me. He's like, "No, Daddy, no, Daddy, is it jujitsu?" I'm like, "Yes, Tyler, it's jujitsu." He's like, "No," and then we go and we change, and he's crying. He's like, "No, Daddy, I don't want to go to jujitsu." I'm like, "Why, Tyler?" I'm like, "Tyler, you promised me you weren't gonna cry next time." "No, Daddy, no." And then we get to jujitsu, and he has so much fun. He's like, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy, I promise you, you know what? This is the last time I'm gonna cry. I love jujitsu. Jujitsu's fun. I like it. Let's buy jujitsu mats." So it goes from, "I don't want to do jujitsu" to "let's buy jujitsu mats." But I don't believe him, because the next day, the same thing. He sees me walking through the door. He knows he already knows it's jujitsu time. He tries to He tries to take his time with doing some activities. Yesterday, he was doing a puzzle. He's like, "Daddy, let me finish the puzzle." I'm like, "No, Tyler, we finish the puzzle, but we gotta go because we gotta make it to jujitsu practice." He's like, "No, Daddy, no, no, no." And the thing is, like, people are asking you, "Well, why are you making your son do jujitsu if he tells you no?" I'm like, "He is 4.5 years old, okay? His brain isn't even developed yet. He doesn't even know what what, um, what he likes or what he doesn't like." And to be quite honest with you, I personally don't care what he likes, right? I'm gonna build discipline in this child. I'm gonna build a mindset for him. I'm gonna build something for him where he is going to be having to do for a long time, right? Um, I'm gonna be able to build his body through this, his mind, everything, right? And it's a non-negotiable. Anyways, I don't care. It's non-negotiable to learn how to defend yourself so you don't get bullied in school, right? Or you can defend yourself on the street, or you don't take anything from anybody, right? And so that is going to teach him a lot, not just how to be a good person, but just the discipline, overall discipline is what I'm trying to instill in him, right? Discipline. Every Monday and Wednesday is jujitsu. Discipline, discipline, discipline. When he's 18 and he goes off to college or whatever he wants to do, he has that discipline. And that discipline is going to come from activities like jujitsu and other things like sports and things like that. That's why a lot of companies, when they look at your resumes, this is something that's not really talked about, but they ask you like, "Oh, did you play any sports? Right? Were you in any teams? Right?" Because they want someone that's a team player, someone that's disciplined, someone that does what they say they're going to do. Right? Someone that works hard, has a good work ethic, is ambitious, wants to win. Right? Companies want winners, and who better than people that were on football teams, basketball teams, swimming, all these other sports. They were competitors. They wanted to win, right? So companies want winners, but they don't talk about this too much, but it is a thing, when there's a candidate that was on the varsity team in college or something along those lines, and one that wasn't. Well, they're going to know that in sales, the guy on the varsity team is probably more competitive than the other guy. It's just simple, it's just a simple ideology there. So you know that's just kind of how the world is. But for me, like I said, it's it's completely a non-negotiable. So um yeah, so we have a bunch of stuff going on right now. A lot of good things, a lot of good things. January's almost ending, you know. I'm gonna say that even though we had a lot of mishaps happen in January, I still take that as a good thing. I'll take it as a good thing because it happened to us. It was like we actually have things that are happening to us, right? So in the bit we have deals, we have deals coming in consistently, which is such a blessing. Whether the deals fall apart or whether the deals don't happen or there's problems with the deals, at least we have deals coming in, right? At least we're not sitting there fiddling our thumbs and not doing anything. We're consistently getting deals in the pipeline, closing deals, getting deals done, negotiating, sending out offers. So that alone is a blessing. And sure, we've had many learning lessons, tons of learning lessons in January. That's the only way you can grow is through failure. You have to fail a few times at a few things in order for you to make it, right? Or for you to not make the same mistake again, or not give in again, or just be more stern on certain things. Real estate's not easy, guys. It's not. It's not easy. It's not easy. Wholesaling's not easy. Nothing's easy. If it was easy, I wouldn't be here talking to you because there'll be so much competition. This whole thing will be so saturated. But you know what? Quite honestly, the only competition is yourself. Because look how crazy this is. I just made a phone call. to a $7.5 million listing where I don't even have experience in, right? And there are millions of people in this country that could have made the same phone call to the same agent and got the same appointment and made the same offer, right? But they didn't. And they probably and they have years of experience on me. Years. But but why but why how did it happen to me? How does it happen to me? Well, because I take that initiative, I take that actionable step, and I make that call. I send that LOI. And whether I fail at it, whether I succeed at it, it doesn't matter. It all adds up. The law of averages will always work in your favor. And the better you get, the better the law of averages become. So sales is a skill. It's definitely a skill. I would even call it as much as a sport. I mean, I don't practice it too much. But the practice that I do is by actually making phone calls and talking to agents. So I guess you can call that practice because I do it every single day. I do it with my team. I do mock calls. I call agents and everything else. So, if you guys are just trying to, if you think this is easy, you got another thing coming. If you think you're gonna get rich in a year, you got another thing coming. If you think you're gonna get a deal like right away, you got another thing coming. All right. Take your time, enjoy the journey, enjoy the experience, enjoy all the life lessons that you're gonna learn because all these lessons are gonna translate into your real life. I promise you that. Because you're dealing with people. It's a lot of it is just psychology, to be quite honest with you. A lot of it is psychology. And the more you understand people, the more you understand psychology, the more you understand when to say certain things, when to not, when to talk, when to listen, you know. It's all in the business, in any business, less is always more, right? A lot of times the first person that makes the offer is the one that loses. So when you have like two, let's say you have two sales guys right by each other, it's funny because like we'll never make the first offer. We'll always keep like backpedaling until somebody like throws in the first offer. But a lot of times when there's like two very strong sales individuals, it's psychological warfare, right? It's very psychological warfare. It's like who's gonna make the first offer, who's gonna lose, right? Because once you make the first offer, all your cards are on the table, right? All your cards are on the table. Everybody knows what you're willing to pay for it. That's why the best salespeople never make the first offer. They always wait for that number to come out just so they understand then where they stand and if they can even make the deal work, right? So with that being said, thank you guys. Appreciate you guys for being on this live with me. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for listening to me, tuning into me. Thank you for all the follows on YouTube. So grateful for you guys. I'm so blessed to be able to have you guys, following me and being my friends. Um, and then also same thing with Instagram. Thank you guys. I mean, I blew up, with uh, with thousands of followers like the last month or so, which is like awesome. So I don't know how that happened, but that was pretty cool. I appreciate you guys, and if you wanna, if you wanna join venture, just shoot me a DM. We can look at it. Always join venturing together. I have all the tools. I have all the resources. We can always work together, and we can make money together in a very, very, very nice way. And we can all succeed as a team, as collectively. We don't have to succeed as single individuals. We could all succeed collectively, and when we do it collectively, you'll always succeed at a much higher level because people will bring you up. You will start going up levels you didn't think you were capable of, and that's because you have different people around you with different mindsets that are already on different levels. And so, with that being said, thank you guys so much. My name is Creative Mike. This has been the Creative Mike podcast. As always, stay creative, my friends.